Hey paisanos, it's me, Hamish Steele, and welcome to another Super Mario Moment. On today's episode, we are tackling Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the fifth or sixth game in the Smash Bros. Series. It came out for the Nintendo Switch in 2018, and it was famous for bringing back all previous Smash Brothers characters, most of the stages, most of the modes, and being truly the ultimate Smash Brothers experience. And to talk about that game, I needed someone just as eclectic and ultimate as the game we're talking about. They are a artist, writer, comic book creator, and fashion designer, and fighting game fanatic. I am joined. That was supposed to fade out, that music. I am joined by DJ Kirkland, aka Oh Hey DJ.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to just yap with you about video games for a bit.
Oh, it's the best. We've been internet friends for a little bit. I live on the other side of the pond, so we've only met a couple of times. Mm-hmm. But you are wonderful, and thank you for coming on.
Oh, thank you. So are you. I'm so happy to be here to talk about video games in any capacity, especially with friends. It's always a good time.
So, for those of my audience who don't know you, can I get a little introduction from you?
Sure, absolutely. My name is DJ Kirkland. I'm a professional comic book artist and writer that's based in the San Francisco Bay Area. I love video games, anime, manga, cartoons from the 90s. I'm very deeply a millennial. So very much a product of the 90s. So everything from like American Saturday morning cartoons to like getting the first ever English dubs of some of our favorite anime of all time, being whether that be Dragon Ball or Sailor Moon, Samurai Pizza Cats, what have you. All that stuff has informed so much of my taste in games, my taste in anime and aesthetic. When it comes to my art, I'd like to say that my art's kind of like a happy combination of like American Saturday morning cartoons as well as like anime from the 90s kind of brought together, and it's very, very queer and very gay and focused on like big boys and all that good stuff. So kind of blending all those things together to make whatever it is that I make.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever had the experience where you felt growing up sort of like you couldn't say that your art inspirations were like games and anime and manga because you always felt like you had to be loftier. But I feel like the world's changed a little bit, and
100%.
We've proven anybody who doubted us wrong. I've seen the sales you make at cons. I've seen all your art.
Yeah.
It's you give the people what they want.
Yeah, if anything I can say about my career is it's definitely one that is fueled by spite. Having gone to art school specifically in the 2000s, like I went to art school from 2004 through 2009, so that was still like peak Toonami era. That was right when we were getting Naruto dubbed in English for the first time. I was finding different means of being able to watch Naruto subtitled in Japanese on the internet for a while, but that was kind of when like the Toonami was really peaking. That was when we still had the physical Shonen Jump magazine printed in English in the US as well. And for that time, that was also the time where like Teen Titans was really popular too. That was kind of like I felt like the first, not really the first, but one of the most prolific shows that very much stood 10 toes down on its influences from anime and manga and kind of blended it in with like Western sensibilities. And it was received, I would say, pretty well overall. But even with my very like staunchly like Marvel DC comic book degree professors, they were very much like, no anime, no manga, none of that stuff here. It's only Western comics, which is like wildly xenophobic, but that's a conversation for another. But yeah, it was just a weird time growing up, and where you kind of had to like not say what your interests are, but it's obvious in the work when you look at it what the influences are. But now we live in this era to where like anime is so prolific that it's in like department stores. You can go to stores like Walmart here in the United States and get like a Dragon Ball shirt, a Naruto shirt, and sometimes even a shirt. So like being a kid in that era, there was never merch of any of that stuff. You could barely find a Dragon Ball Z shirt at stores like Hot Topic here. So it's wild to kind of see this moment kind of come completely full circle, and especially with things like K-pop Demon Hunters that just came out, which is so like in your face about its references. Like the Sailor Moon of it all just jumped out in that movie. So yeah, it's cool to be in this era to where like we can proudly wear our interests on our sleeves and talk about it openly.
For sure. I mean, when I was growing up, I became as a teenager a like conscious weeaboo, and I loved Japan. Yeah. But growing up before then, I loved Mario, I loved Pokemon, I loved Godzilla and all these things. But I didn't really know what was connecting all these things. It's just what my interests were. So it does feel validating to be at a time when we can be a little bit more proud about our influences and do a Mario podcast, for example. And you mentioned gaming. And I know that fighting games are a big influence on you. We're talking about a fighting game today. What do you think it is about fighting games that speaks to you?
I grew up in the arcades. Like my mom would drop me off at the mall, and we had an arcade in our mall that had like Soul Calibur, it had Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter 2, Marvel vs. Capcom, like all the staples of like the fighting game world, like in one spot. And I've always just like gravitated to like competitive games in some capacity. And it's odd, like, because I never really played sports growing up. So like video games were kind of like my sport, and technically they are now with esports, I guess. But I've always like loved the idea of like, I guess it's kind of like a power fantasy, right? Except like I wanted to be Chun-Li or I wanted to be Cammy. So it's just like, I loved like these really cool girls that have like really cool abilities and got to fight big guys and all that stuff. It was just really cool to look at. Like I just found them all to be so visually striking. Like I harken back to Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2 like consistently, like when you do like the crossover attacks and it's like both the character portraits come together. There's something about like the intensity of that moment happening in game that like gives me chills even when I think about it. Like stuff like that is just so cool and striking and like visually appealing that it just like fires off all the right synapses for me. I love it. And I also just love like learning the mechanics of the fighting games themselves and getting better and testing my skills against my friends. Fortunately, I lived in a neighborhood with a lot of young boys that were the same age as me. So we all played all the fighting games together. So I always had like a little bit of the community of being able to play fighting games in person with people in addition to the arcades. And of course, I was the
best. You still are. I think I've played you a couple of times at Smash Bros.
Yeah. I'm a little rusty at Smash, but yeah, I think I still got it.
I've always felt fighting games are a kind of secret queer safe space because
100%.
When you're growing up, like, A, we all want to play as the fabulous divas, and then B, we also want to look at all the shirtless men. So it's like best of both.
100%, 100%.
The actual ideal of like being Chun-Li, but also being like, thrown to the ground by Zangief is like, literally. That's all we want. That's all we want.
Yeah. I don't think that's asking for much.
No. So yeah, I mean, as a kid, like my mum was probably like, he can't be gay. He's obsessed with women. Meanwhile, it's a giant poster of Ivy from Soul Calibur, on my wall. I obviously this is a Mario podcast. I kind of told you that I want to talk to you about a Smash Brothers game, which is a little rude of me. You're very welcome to come on to talk about a different Mario game at some point.
Of course, yes.
But were you like a Nintendo kid specifically, or do you have any like other deep affection for the Mario series?
Oh, 100%. I'm definitely a Nintendo kid. Born and raised. My first system was the NES. And it was funny because my parents would argue over who got to play it when they originally got it for me. So like my mom used to be like really invested in like keeping up with like, oh, like what's the latest game console? What's coming out? What's this? What's that? Has since fallen off from that as I've become an adult and all that and priority shift and everything. But yeah, she was the one that introduced me to gaming. She got me my Nintendo, got me a copy of Super Mario Brothers. And then obviously after that I was hooked. So Mario 2, Mario 3, Dr. Mario, Yoshi Cookie, the All-Star Sports game with the running pad. I still have it somewhere. I think my mom still has that running pad somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah, very much entrenched in Nintendo stuff for like my entire life. I've owned every single Nintendo console. I'm trying to think if there's one that I do not own or have owned.
I used to say like I had all of them, but then last week or the week before we covered Wario Land 3, and I suddenly just remember that I'd never actually played a Virtual Boy. But that's the kind of like weird. That's the weird.
That's the weird one. Yeah.
Win $1 million and I'm gonna just like find one on eBay and I have somewhere to put it.
It is. It's strange. It is certainly strange. It is certainly very, very strange. Had a Virtual Boy as well. Played Mario Tennis on it. I think it's like Wario Land 3. Those were like the only 2 games that I played on it. My mom was like, "How much money am I spending on this thing for this again? What is happening?" But yeah, definitely entrenched in all things Nintendo for sure.
It's fun to talk to people who have a similar experience to me, who feels a little bit like a Gen 1 Mario fan, if that thing exists, where I played the games roughly in order and saw the changes over time. And so a game like Smash Brothers means a lot. I'm not going to say means more. I'm not going to gatekeep or anything, but it is always fascinating talking to people whose first childhood memories of Mario are like Mario Kart Wii and like, or later now.
As a 39-year-old millennial, that when I hear people's like first game console was like an Xbox, I want to just turn to dust. Like it's just I'm just gonna go to the retirement home right now. But it's definitely like it's so weird thinking about that. Like time continues to move on, and people have been born after the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64, the Wii, even the Wii U. Like it's crazy.
I'm sure there's some 8-year-olds getting Mario Kart World who were not alive for the Switch.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Mario Odyssey is like 8 years old now. It's
wild,
very crazy.
Wild. I mean, and what a fantastic game for that to be your first Mario game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the game of the hour. Today we're talking about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I am putting this very infamous direct on screen. The count, the number counting down. Everyone is here. First of all, I wanted to ask. I said I want to talk about Smash Brothers with you, but I also said, which game in the franchise do you want to talk about? And you pretty quickly said Ultimate.
Yeah.
Do you think it fulfills its promise as the ultimate Smash Brothers game?
Oh, 1000%. I absolutely do think it fulfills that fantasy. I would even go as far to say that prior to that, I would even say that almost, while it's probably not my favorite Smash Brothers game by any stretch of the imagination, I would almost say that Smash 3DS and Wii U almost fulfilled that promise. But then when we saw the Direct for the first time for Ultimate, I was kind of like, there's no way that this is going to be what they say it's going to be. And I felt that same kind of like childlike wonder and excitement again that I did the first time that I opened Nintendo America magazine and saw like the 8-page cover story for Smash Brothers on the Nintendo 64. Like this game for me personally elicits such like a nostalgia response, for one, because I've grown up with every version of Smash Brothers and have loved that kind of fantasy of like, what if Mario fought Link, or what if Pikachu fought Link, or whoever, like from the Nintendo universe. It's that childlike like make believe that we would always play when we were kids with our toys or our imagination, but that promise is fulfilled in this game, which is just so wild to me that this game, like from a licensing standpoint, even exists. Because what a feat to have characters from franchises like Final Fantasy, Metal Gear Solid, Bayonetta, which is now a Nintendo property, but Sora from Kingdom Hearts, like, and Joker from Persona 5. Like it just seemed like such like a far-fetched idea. Like if somebody had presented me like this trailer like a decade or even 2 decades ago, I would have said that this is like made up. Like this is like like this is not a reality. Like this is insane. So I do think that it fulfills that promise. I think it delivered on it in such a tremendous way. The game has so much heart, has so much fun and soul and characterization, and I think it brings out the best of every single character in like the Nintendo universe that is represented in the game.
For sure. It's an incredible feat. And I think sometimes in the like off season, I suppose, between because like Smash Brothers to me is half the game and then half the hype. Like there's a whole period of time, especially with all the DLC, that it seems to never stop, of speculation and rumor and hopes and dreams and everything. Then the game comes out, people love it. And then it feels like in this off season between this game and whatever comes next, if there is ever going to be another Smash Bros. Game, where people start to pick holes and they start to say like, well, I wish that had done better. I wish that had done better. And they sort of forget how much of an achievement it is to begin with.
Right.
And even with the promise that the director has made that we might never get a game like this again, just logistically,
right.
It does feel like fans can be a little insatiable and they can or only focus on what they didn't do or they didn't stick in.
Right.
I do think it's an incredible ultimate achievement. I know I'm probably going to have a guest on one day who's just wanted to talk about Melee or Brawl or whatever, because they have their own unique elements and cultures and everything. But for the time being, like, I'm in the camp where I would totally understand if they just want to like port Ultimate over or even just like leave it as it is. Like that Smash Bros. Obviously I always want more, but
I 100% agree with that. I think in like the culture of gaming and like in fandom spaces altogether, like fans are insatiable. They're never going to be satisfied. There's always something that could have been there. There's always something that was left out that they could have done better. And like there are things that I do like about previous games more so than I do in Ultimate, but I do think like as a complete package overall on delivering that promise of it being like the ultimate Smash Brothers experience, it absolutely delivers on that like tenfold, 100%. I do wish that we had like something akin to like Subspace Emissary like in Ultimate, like they kind of did with the single player mode, but not to the same level to where we have these like really great like character cutscenes, these pre-rendered cutscenes where like characters that you would never see together in anything would like interact together. Like those are the things that I think that fans still crave. I think that's part of the Smash Bros. Ethos because Brawl kind of set that standard with that was kind of what the expectation should have been going forward in all subsequent games to come after that. And the fact that it wasn't, I definitely do think that's kind of like the one like spot where I think they could have delivered that, because I remember Sakurai coming out in an interview and saying like, oh, the reason why we don't want to do this anymore because people will just post them online and spoil it. It's like, well, that's just the culture of the internet, unfortunately. Like I hate it just as much as he does. Like I hate that like there are already Donkey Kong Bonanza leaks like last week, and I'm like, let me just like avoid all of this as much as possible, because like the game just came out today here like in the US, so I'm gonna pick it up after this actually. But yeah, like I wish that piece of it didn't deter him from wanting to integrate that kind of like story element into Smash, because I think that was such like a fun addition. Like I always love the cutscene where it's like they're on Meta Knight's aircraft, and Princess Peach has her parasol. She's just walking, and there are just like explosions happening behind her, and she's just vibing out or whatever. And then we see Sheik like a ninja vanish up onto an R wing, and ninja strikes the R wing, and then we see Fox eject from the R wing. They both land. They do like the Naruto run at each other, and they both attack each other. And Princess Peach is like, "Whoa, chill. Why don't we have some tea?" And that was the cutscene. Like, I want more stuff like that. It's so like silly, innocuous, and fun. Like, I love those little set pieces like that, because we would never see that in any other context outside of like fan videos that people make online. We would never see that in an official product from Nintendo at all, ever.
Yeah, it's just that's what a crossover. That's the best part of a crossover, in my opinion. It's like, you know, it's fun seeing Mario fight Link, but it's more fun seeing how these characters might clash. It's the same as like an Avengers film or something. Like the stuff people actually want is the characters interacting, not just standing next to each other.
Yeah, not just standing to each other and necessarily just fighting each other. But yeah, those little things are so important. I love those.
I mean, I'm jumping a little ahead to, because we're talking about single player and what's missing. What are your thoughts on the World of Light?
World of Light I thought was a great idea and concept. I kind of wish that they would have taken that to more of like the subspace emissary route, because I
Yeah.
see what they were doing there, and I thought that it was fun. It was like a great way to unlock characters or whatever. But like, it's not my favorite single player moment in a Smash game. I would kind of rather them have the adventure mode like from Melee, to where it was like a 2D side scrolling situation through different themed side scrolling levels, which I thought was really fun. So like a combination of that would be cool. Like maybe like even like a small truncated like 3D like platforming element of some kind. I don't know. And then like
Yeah.
you have like almost like in like an RPG where it's like in Persona, right? You're running around the map and then you encounter an enemy and then it transitions to the fight. Like that would be cool. That
That
would
would
be
be
something
cool. And the
too.
thing is, like, Sakurai is such a maximalist when it
Hmm.
comes to games. Like,
Which I love. I love.
it's like these aren't actually insane things to suggest, because you know he
Yeah.
made a Kid Icarus game and it had a whole multiplayer card system attached.
Yeah.
This Kirby Air Ride game, I'm sure, is gonna have,
I
I
can't
don't
wait.
know, like a first person shooter mode or something.
It's gonna
Um,
be nuts for sure.
um, but yeah, I think I liked World of Light a little bit more than uh, others did. I agree with all of your comments. I
Hmm.
think the sad thing is that I think it does get really kind of epic and cool towards the end. It has like a great final kind of few moments,
Yeah.
but like I feel like almost nobody gets there because it is
Hmm.
very long,
Yeah.
and pretty much everything you encounter is done in other modes in the game in slightly quicker and more interesting
Yeah.
styles.
Yeah.
Um, I definitely found it a fun way to unlock all the characters, and I loved that in this game you had just the starting roster.
Hmm.
Maybe a bit annoying if you've bought the game for a party like that day, but
Yeah.
uh, I thought that was really fun. It's always fun on day one to just be unlocking stuff every
Hmm.
second.
Yeah.
And that's what I use World of Light for mostly.
Absolutely. Like, and I do think that there's something to be said about like getting a Smash Bros. Game on day one, especially a game like Ultimate, and then just playing with like the original 8
Hmm.
or 12 characters that were in the game, and and as you're just playing with what you have, just like unlocking it, and then you're doing it with your friends, and you're like cheering your friends on, like, oh, you get him, and like trying to unlock the character, like that kind of stuff. I think like harkens back to that era of like couch co-op and
Hmm.
like in-person multiplayer and all that stuff, which I think Nintendo is so good about, kind of like still holding on to that aspect of gaming in all their multiplayer affairs. Even though that a lot of the games now have like an online element that you can do from the comfort of your own home, but nothing is ever going to top playing Smash Brothers with a group of friends in your house. Nothing's ever going to top playing split screen Mario Kart like in person. Like nothing's going to ever top playing Mario Party in person with your friends. It's just not, those moments are just unmatched, and I'm glad that there's still part of Nintendo that wants to hold on to moments like that.
Yeah. I wanted to just talk a little bit about the build up to the game.
Yeah,
Obviously, you were hyped. We all were,
100%.
but specifically, I know we talked about your reaction to the opening trailer, but then came the kind of the leaks, the never-ending like fake leaks. Do you remember
Hmm.
the infamous Grinch leak and things like that?
Yeah,
Um, it's kind of incredible to think of that time. I have no idea what it's going to be like next time in the world of AI and all that stuff. It's going to be a nightmare.
yeah. It's gonna
Um,
be a nightmare for sure.
I just kind of I wonder if you enjoy that time of speculation. Me personally, I do enjoy it, but I'm happy when it's over because it is exhausting.
I feel exactly the same way. It's like, oh, it's fun to think about, like, oh, what if, but when it's done, I'm like, thank God. So we don't have to speculate. We know what's coming. We know what's happening. Great. I can't wait to just like get in there and play and get to know these characters. But yeah, it's definitely fun to speculate. Like I remember the speculation surrounding like Joker from Persona 5,
Mm.
and the speculation around like Cloud when he was coming to Wii U 3DS and all that stuff. And I'm like, this is fun to think about. But then when it starts turning into like weird arguments on the internet, I'm like, oh, I don't like this anymore. This is you guys are now making this like not fun. So I'm ready for this.
Yeah. One of the things I look up to cheer myself up sometimes are like reactions
Yeah,
to sometimes just the opening Everyone Is Here trailer, just because it's
yeah,
very infectious, that kind of
100%.
reaction. But also looking at like huge Kingdom Hearts fans seeing Sora, or huge I don't know, Persona fans seeing the Persona reaction. Was there any character in this game that was in the game that was like your number one pick that managed to make it in and like made you so happy?
I honestly, like, I got everything that I ever wanted in the game already. I was like, the Peter's in the game, great. You guys put Cloud in the game. I love Final Fantasy VII. Definitely Final Fantasy VII girly for life. Bayonetta was also a treat. And I was like, they're never going to get Sora. I mean, it's not going to happen. There's too much between Disney and Square Enix. There's no way it's going to happen. And when it happened, I was like, no way. That was what really got me. That really gagged me when that happened, because I just chalked it up to it just being like a licensing nightmare to make that happen logistically. That there was no way that was going to be real. But then it was, and just truly, absolutely insane. Like of course, like my ultimate like it'll never happen, because it just won't, because there hasn't really been a Sailor Moon game anytime, like outside of like a match 3 that is no longer on the App Store. I'm like, what if they put Sailor Moon in Smash Brothers? That'd be so fun. but yeah, that's my other thing, because people were like wanting Goku for the longest time because of how many Dragon Ball games there are, and I'm like, well, if you're gonna put Goku in the game, you might as well put Sailor Moon. But,
yeah, they have obviously they put in the Dragon Quest Hero,
yeah,
and then that's almost there if you squint from a distance. There's a little bit of Toriyama in there, which is nice. Yeah, I got everything I wanted, and then some. Although, funnily enough, King K. Rool is the only character that I wanted, and then I became my main, or a main. Like, I love the way he moves. I love his moveset. I find quite often it's the characters I don't really have that much of a connection to that I just love playing as. I have since played it, but I never grew up with Final Fantasy. But I love playing as Sephiroth.
Yeah.
I love Byleth as well. I kind of just like big, chunky, sort of ranged-y things.
All those big moves.
Yeah. Let's talk about your mains. I've got some art of yours up here. Are these some of your faves?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I drew this such a long time ago. It's crazy to even think about. No, you're good. You're good. I still like it. I still like this drawing a lot. So Princess Peach has always been my main since Melee. I was like, I've always picked Princess Peach in everything. Since Mario 2, I've always picked Peach whenever she's playable in any game. So when they put her in Smash, I'm like, I don't care if she's the worst character in the game. I am going to play her. And it turns out she was fucking incredible in Melee, and hasn't been as good since, but still, we make it work. We still make it work. And specifically to talk about Zelda in Ultimate, because they made the change from Zelda being whatever current version of Zelda it is in the canonic game, or whatever the most recent Zelda game is out. Because before, it was basically Twilight Princess was a representation for Link and Zelda in Smash. And slight tangent, I still think that, like, visually, aesthetically, like, that's the coolest that either of them have ever looked. Like, I love the way that they both look in Twilight Princess so much. Zelda especially, so good. So I liked the way that she looked in that game. She wasn't very fun, but I loved the choice to go this route with Zelda in Ultimate, because she has so much more personality. She's basically like a magical girl. It's really, really cute and fun, and they made her moves even better. So I really enjoy playing Zelda a lot in the game.
Zelda's definitely one of my mains. I think I kind of like zony, slightly floaty characters. And I like the design philosophy behind Zelda, and I think in general of like, let's make the kind of ideal like version of the character that isn't too specific. And I also think just in terms of Zelda representation, you sort of have across the board, you know, the three Links, Ganondorf, Sheik, and Zelda. Zelda kind of helps represent the kind of retro side of things a bit more, because the rest are kind of more the 3D Zeldas. yeah, I was very happy when she showed up in that trailer. But continue.
So cute. I love this iteration of Zelda, and I think it's like my favorite. One of my second favorite Zelda design is her in this iteration. And I preferred Zero Suit Samus in Smash Wii U and 3DS more so than in Ultimate, but she's still fun. I mean, she's got rocket powered like enhanced stilettos. Like,
Mm.
what's not to like about that? And Isabella's just cute, like very very cute. I love Animal Crossing, and she's adorable. And yeah, I love her for that.
Yeah, Zero Suit Samus, I feel falls into a category of Smash Brothers character where they're more of a Smash Brothers character than they are a character in their own right,
Yeah.
like Captain Falcon and maybe Fox
Yes.
McCloud.
Yeah.
It's like a lot was made up. But you play the game and like, oh, I guess that's all she does. She is a woman with a gun. But yeah, I mean, I just pulled up that art, but are there other mains of yours that you love to use?
Yeah, specifically in Smash Ultimate, you mentioned Hero from Dragon Quest, and I didn't really grow up playing a lot of the Dragon Quest games. I played the Dragon Quest game, I think that was 7, that was on the PlayStation 2. I think I played that one. And then Dragon Quest 11, which is like one of my favorite video games of all time. It is a perfect game. I love that game so very very much. So seeing the Dragon Quest 11 hero represented in that game, I'm like, oh, I have to play him. I love that game so much. Who else in that game? Even though I didn't really play Earthbound growing up, I love playing as Ness in Ultimate. He's so fun. He's so much fun. And I mainly play Ness out of spite because one of the guys that I played Smash competitively with here in the Bay Area was a Ness main in Smash 3DS and Wii U and would wipe the floor with me with him every time. And I'm like, I'm going to pick up this character. I'm going to pick up this character in this game so I can know what to do because I know he's going to pick him in this version of the game too. So I can know the matchup a little bit better. But yeah, mostly Peach, Ness, Zelda, Hero. Who else? I also really love Ganondorf, specifically in this game. I love him. He's so fun. He's so much fun. I do like also like the big hulking characters too, and Ganondorf is just like his moveset is just really fun. So I enjoy playing him, and especially because it's that classic Ocarina of Time design, which is just so good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 80 characters, you can have like 5 or 6 mains, and it benefits you because there's so many kinds of matchups that you know, I love playing as King K. Rool, but I know he's not like top tier or anything. So when things start heating up, I have to switch a little bit.
Yeah.
And I love playing with a friend and you're just changing character each match.
Yeah,
like
same.
That's not true of every fighting game I've ever played. But
yeah, same.
There's so many different ways to play the game. It just can kind of never end.
Yeah, agreed.
Just let's talk. I want to end on positive. So let's talk about, are there any other issues you have with the game?
Any issues that I have with Smash Ultimate, my biggest thing that I hate that they took this out of this version, but they had it in Smash 3DS and Wii U, is the 4 Glory and 4 Fun modes for online play. Like, why did you take that out? That was like the perfect setup. So like if you wanted to play with items and all that fun stuff, that mode is there and it has that rule set for you to do whatever you want. And then if you want to play like competitively, there is like a competitive mode like specifically for the people that want to do that. But I do think that like the custom rules thing was like, it mostly worked most of the time. I rarely ever ended up in a situation where the match was just completely not what I requested at all. That rarely ever happened when I was playing that game pretty much every day. Like I only maybe very occasionally ran into something that like the match lineup was just like insane. But the only other thing that I wish that they would do is I personally wish that Sakurai's aversion to that game being competitive wasn't like a detractor for him. And I get it. I totally get it. It's fine because like that's ultimately it's his vision for the game, and that's fine. But there's this whole subset of a community of people that enjoy playing this game in a certain way. So like having the ability to set up rules to be able to do that, which I think custom lobbies does kind of solve that issue mostly. you can kind of do that. Because anytime that I usually end up playing Smash anyway, I hop on a Discord call with a bunch of people, and we just make a lobby, and we just run matches over and over and over again, which serves the same purpose. But I wish that the aversion to having like a dedicated competitive mode wasn't a thing, when it's so common of like every game that has an online component, whether it's a hyper competitive game or not, they do have those like ranked modes and like unranked modes.
It's one of these weird Nintendo things like across the board.
Yeah.
Splatoon's is okay, but like it's one of I think in the interest of them making it like accessible and like casual, they actually ignore the fact that like people play Fortnite, people play Overwatch, like people we're long past me going down to make my McDonald's to use the Wi-Fi to play Mario Kart DS online.
Yeah.
Like, this is a different world.
We're a different era now, yeah.
And like, it is frustrating because Smash Bros. Is obviously a huge hit. I don't need to tell them how to sell more copies, but it's like they're just a little bit far away. Like, I'm sure I'll be like kicked off of YouTube for even suggesting that Smash Bros. Becomes more of a live game next time, but there's a kind of online forward version of Smash Bros. Which I do think would be really fun, where that's the prioritized element. And I don't know, like Mario Kart World is fine, but it's still got the same weird internet rules. And just here's hoping that maybe we get out of this era of Nintendo where they want to reduce the amount of things you can do with the game rather than do whatever you want.
Yeah, I hope so too. I hope that they just embrace what it is. Like, I also just want them to, if they want to, again, increase the longevity of the game, like, give us outfits. Like, that's the thing about Mario Kart World. I'm like, oh, we have outfits now? Yeah. I hate this about myself, but like if there's downloadable content and it's a cute costume for a character that I like, I will buy it.
No, I'm 100%. When people are making criticisms about Mario Kart World, all I can think of is, but have you seen Birdo's jacket? It's really cool. Like, have you seen?
I was like, have you seen all of Princess Peach's outfits? They're so good. They're so
Daisy
good.
in the like swimsuit with the sideways cap and the side ponytail. Like, come on now.
It's like, you guys, Daisy has a side ponytail. Like, what's not to love?
We enjoy games of a slightly different metric, but I 100% agree. Like, I would say my indulgent, like, I would genuinely be happy with cutting the roster in half if they all got outfits. Like, I'm you can get rid of, I don't know, Corrin. They had their time. Now, like, let's see Princess Peach's legs.
I don't need 3 different versions of the same fucking character. I don't need 3 Marths. I don't need 3 versions of any of these characters. Like,
especially since like between Ultimate and whenever they make a game, there's been multiple games where part of the selling point is, look at all of Mario's outfits, look at all of Donkey Kong's outfits, look at all of Link's outfits, look at all of Peach's outfits. It's like, clearly they know that's what people want.
I want the outfits. Just put the out. Like, I still miss the outfits that they had in Mario Party 3 for all the different maps. Like, I still miss that.
Aside from outfits and aside from fixing the internet, what else do you hope for the Smash Bros. Series? And do you think it will continue on Switch 2?
I think that the series will continue on Switch 2 because I think Nintendo, much like every other multi-million-dollar corporation, loves money. So I think it would be ridiculous for them to not want to make another Smash Bros. Title. So whether that is like a Mario Kart 8 deluxeification of Ultimate going forward into the Switch 2 era, I would be fine with that too. I'm kind of thinking what I had in my head, especially now with Donkey Kong Bonanza just coming out, and us having more stuff with Zelda and all these other titles coming forward in the future. I'm like, okay, so we're probably gonna get a redesign of Ganondorf to where he's more in line with his design in Tears of the Kingdom. So like, please give me that shirtless, rehydrated Ganondorf, please. I would love that. Give me that character. I need him now. I need that man. And I'd like to see like what they would do to update Donkey Kong with Donkey Kong Bonanza being out, like how he would be different in a Smash Brothers title now. Like they're doing too many cool things with established characters and changing them up. So it would be a huge missed opportunity for them to not make another game and to rethink some of these characters and how they would perform in a Smash Brothers environment.
Yeah, it feels like there is this sentiment in the fan base where there are these two roads where we would be fine with Ultimate Plus, give us 5 more characters, more, give us another 5 spots. Like, we would be fine with that.
Yeah.
But the longer it goes on and how, like you said, the interesting things happening in these characters' franchises, even just looking at original 12, it's like Samus is nothing like playing Metroid Dread. Donkey Kong is nothing like playing Bonanza or even the country games, to be honest. Like, there's when you see what they can do with someone like King K. Rool, and then you see Donkey Kong and he doesn't even have like barrels or like anything. It does make me think that the more interesting route is that reduced roster, and then putting a little bit more care and love to updating these characters and giving them their cool outfits and giving them
I would be so fine with them doing a new game and being like, we're not doing guest characters this time, it's just Nintendo characters, and we're going to have some surprises of characters that have been long rumored to be in Smash but never were, and all that stuff. But like, I would be fine with that. Like, as much as I love all the guest characters, I really, really do. I think they've been great additions. Bayonetta, all of them, love it. But that's not necessary for me to have a great time when I come to Smash Brothers. And I've always said this about the Smash Brothers series, is that it's a celebration of Nintendo's past, present, and future. So I want them to continue to celebrate that in whatever way that means. And I think if that means them focusing back on like all of their core properties and digging into some of like the vault, pulling from things that we haven't really thought about in a really long time, I think that would be really, really interesting. Reducing the roster a little bit, rethinking the characters and like changing up their moveset to reflect the more current games. Princess Peach is different. Like she had her own game.
I know. A whole game
like where she has all these outfits. So it's like you could do so much with Princess Peach alone with her having her own game. Like you can completely change her moveset from what she's had since Melee. So I'm really curious as to what the future looks like with all of these characters kind of getting new life brought into them with these newer games.
Yeah, I think the hope for me is that because there's now like a literal mandated redesign of Donkey Kong, it's like they're going to have to at least go back into these characters and tweak them a bit. I don't even think a Smash Ultimate Deluxe would get away with the old Donkey Kong design.
No, they would change it for sure.
So... But with Air Ride coming out, Sakurai seems busy, and I do think this might still be a few years off. So Ultimate will have to do for now. I do think it's interesting, just wild speculation, what games didn't get a Switch 2 update. And Ultimate's one of them. I think Pikmin 4 and Mario Maker are 2 of them, which feel very like mouse control-y. So my like slight prediction for the next year is that maybe these are the games that will get more sort of bigger updates that are more kind of paid and significant, like the Kirby one we're getting soon. With all of that said, do you have any final thoughts about Smash Bros. Ultimate?
As a lifelong competitive Melee player, I love my Melee heads. I love them. Those are my people. They've always been my people. I would love to see Smash whatever comes next to kind of embrace the fast pace, the quickness that Melee had that has not been present in the Smash game since. We were so close with Ultimate. We were so close. But yeah, I want them to embrace that. Like I would still take Melee HD. I would still take it. I would still take a Melee HD today and be just fine. But yeah, like I want Nintendo to not be afraid of the game being competitive, because the game will still always have its casual audience. It always will. That's never going to go away unless you physically take away the game having items in it as like the main part of the gameplay loop. It's always going to have that casual audience. It always will. I just want them to embrace the competitive nature of that game because the game has so much potential. But yeah, I love Smash Brothers. It is probably my favorite thing in the world. I love it so much. And as a Nintendo fanboy for life, yeah, it's everything to me.
Ooh. The rapid fire question round. It's time for me to ask some very silly questions and see how far we get. Okay. So, which Smash Brothers stage would you most like to live on?
I would like to live on Princess Peach's castle.
Great answer. Although avoid the Banzai Bills.
Yes.
What would be your final Smash if you were a character?
My final Smash would be definitely like me holding like a tablet pen and like doing lots of like samurai slashes, and it's just like paint going everywhere and everybody explodes and falls on the screen.
Art Academy.
Yes.
If you could add your dream character, but you had to cut 5 characters, who would they be?
I would cut all the Fire Emblem characters except for Mars.
What franchise or company deserves a Smash Brothers clone of their own?
I think that oh my god, what company deserves a Smash clone? I feel like I've had this on the top of my head for years, but I can't think of it. No, why is this happening to me right now? You know what? Shonen Jump. We need another Shonen Jump All-Stars game. Yes, that's my choice.
I almost thought you were going to say Studio Clamp or something.
Yeah.
I've lost my questions. Okay. If Kirby sucked you up, how would he look and what power would he have?
Kirby would have locks, and then he would also be horny for big boys.
Amazing. Thank you so much for all that chaos. Before we go, please, can you take as much time as you like to plug the hell out of everything you're doing?
Yeah, sure. So, Hamish, again, thank you so much for having me. This has been an absolute joy. So thank you for this. This is so much fun. I have a couple things that are out right now. You can find my graphic novel, The Black Mage, in anywhere you get your books. You can get it digitally online. That's a graphic novel that me and one of my really good friends, Daniel Barnes, created back in 2019. That book means a lot to both of us. So, yeah, if you like anime, manga, and video games, all dealing with, race and inequality and fighting back against that stuff, but done with a flavor of anime manga on top, you'll really enjoy it.
I'd love to get Daniel on the show, but
my God,
I know he's the world's biggest Sonic fan. I might have to talk about the Olympic Games.
Yeah. I mean, he's a big Nintendo head too. Like, how he got his start was making Super Mario Adventure comics. So you can definitely talk about that with him for sure. What else? So there's an anthology that just came out that's called Young Men in Love New Romance that just dropped. I have a story in it. We both have a story in that, don't we?
I've written something. Japota drew it, but yes, I've not actually got my copy yet, but
I haven't gotten mine yet either.
But I'm very excited to.
Yes, me too. I'm very excited to receive that whenever it comes in the mail. What else? You can still find it in stores, but I also have a story that was in a DC Comics DC Pride 2024 issue, so you can check that out. And also just my online store, it's just oheydj.shop. You can find all kinds of merchandise like the Magical Boy hat that Hamish is wearing. I have a bunch of other apparel for my little brand that's called Big Boy Social Club, and there's all kinds of cute things to wear to the gym or just to wear out or whatever. And there's also all my art prints and stuff like that are on there as well. Stickers, prints, you name it. That's all on my online store. But I think that's all that I have to promote right now.
I'm very excited about what you've got coming up in the future as well that I don't think you can talk about just yet. But I would love to have you back on. I'm not making any promises, but I will keep Mario RPG to the side because we didn't even get to talk about do you want Gino and Smash?
Yes, the answer is yes. The answer is absolutely yes. Gino and Smash all the way.
Cut all the Fire Emblem characters. Add Gino. No one would complain.
Nobody would complain.
No. Well, thank you so much for joining. This has been a Super Mario moment. We are a proud member of the Glitterjaw Queer Podcasting Collective. You can check out all of their shows at glitterjaw.com. I've been a guest on many of them, but they're all good in their own right. Super Mario Moment does not have a official Patreon yet, but you can subscribe to me, Hamish Steele, where Super Mario Moment episodes will go up early, and I'm also planning a bunch of other strange content, like read-alongs of the official Mario tie-in novels, which do exist. And yeah, follow Super Mario Moment on YouTube, Blue Sky, and Instagram. And until next time, where I believe we'll be talking about Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door.
So good.
Until next time, so long, gay Bowsers.